I'm yelling at a piece of paper. I've truly lost it.
This video is supported in part by Squarespace. Make a beautiful website today with Squarespace.
Hello, I am back at it again for part 2 with my strange hair and my strange fashion choices. Last time we got to this point of sewing my mock-up. The front is all finished and sewn to the lower front, and all the back parts have been sewn together. The next steps are to attach the front and back, and then add the straps and the hook and eye closure. I'm up to here on the instructions. Now I've just got this to do. Easy. Hopefully. All right, let's get right into it.
So step 5 involves placing the front and the back of the dress right sides together, pinning the sides in place, and then sewing them like this. And then I press those new seams open.
I've never made a dress this long, or with so many separate pieces, and there are just meters and meters and meters and meters of seams, and it is taking so long. Guess what? I should now be able to give it a trial. Okay, so here is the current situation with the dress. Now, I've got a lot of side boob, but there's gonna be a whole another strip of fabric here, which will turn this side boob from obscene to tasteful. It's also so low back, but I really, really like where it sits. I actually think that's really flattering. The front part fits really, really nicely. I'm very happy with it. And the skirt, it's so swishy. And at the moment, before hemming, falls just below my feet. It's the perfect length, really. The only thing I think I want to make adjustments to is that I'm currently sucking in my stomach, and if I do this, the clips pop off. And it's very likely that my weight will change before my wedding. I don't want to have to really strictly try and maintain the same weight. That way madness lies. And also I want to be able to eat a lot of food at my wedding. So what I think I'm going to do is to add some shirred panels. My favorite. Shirring. I'm currently just trying to figure out where I should add these shirred panels because I don't want to disrupt the really nice way that this dress drapes and falls. But this is so exciting seeing it on for the first time. I'm really just thinking I chose the right pattern. This is my wedding dress. I mean, this one specifically isn't. This is the mock-up. You know what I mean.
Now, I did have some hesitation in adding a panel of shirring because I was worried it might look a bit tacky in the fabric I'm using for my final wedding dress. I also needed to test out if it would even work on the silky fabric. Because of my doubts, I cut out a tiny square from my precious wedding dress fabric and I tried the shirring out on that. And it actually shirred really nicely. I actually think it looks quite luxurious on this fabric, and I don't think it will look too out of place because there are other gathers in the fabric, namely on the bust. So I know it looks okay. Now I'm just going to try the practicalities of this out on the mock-up.
So now I have to do a lot of maths, I think. For some reason my brain can't like figure out how to do this logically. Life advice from Annika. If you sew and you don't know other sewers, I highly recommend getting some sewing friends in your life. I was without this group for many years and I don't know what I'd be doing without them. So I want to facilitate a little sewist friend making down in the comments of this video. If you want some sewing friends to bounce some ideas off of, write down in the comments below that you're looking for sewing friends, and other people comment on people's posts and try and make sewing friends with each other. Because honestly, it's been such a good thing for me and it's also really improved my sewing. Let's all be friends because friendship is the best. Okay, for the rest of the video, I'm gonna be changing between different sewing machines, different locations, because my January was a shit show, to put it lightly. The start of the month had me running up and down the east coast of Australia trying to avoid bushfire smoke and then evacuating from bushfires, leaving my good sewing machine in a bushfire area when I had to evacuate, then capping off the month by going to hospital for extreme stomach pain. Now you might remember last video when I did this. Now, I'm still not superstitious. I'm not conceited enough to believe that me putting an umbrella up indoors was the cause of like Australia catching on fire. But still, maybe I just like won't do that again. Won't hurt to not put umbrellas up indoors. Surely. Still not superstitious though. Still not gonna be letting any cats eat out of my left wedding shoe before my wedding day. Anyway, just wanted to explain what was going on when the backgrounds and machines and everything is changing. Okay, back to the dressmaking. Okay, regarding these shirred panels that I'm gonna put in, I think I've just had a genius idea. I'm just gonna put one in at the back and replace the hook and eye closure that was supposed to go there at the same time, so I don't have to bother with that. So technically, I should be making my life easier when I do my final wedding dress. So what I'm gonna do is close up the open seam that was meant to have the hook and eye closure on it by just sewing like I have with the other seam, tracing out a triangle where I want the shirred panel to go on my dress,
copying this triangle onto a piece of paper, and then cutting cutting this triangle out. Now, this piece of paper is a pattern representation of the piece that I'm going to be chopping from the dress, so I'll be using this to modify the wedding dress pattern later on. Then I drew up and cut out another pattern piece. This new larger triangle is the same height, but twice the width as the first triangle, and it's twice the width because it's going to be shirred, which reduces a fabric's width approximately by half. So using this pattern, I'm going to cut out another bit of this fabric, which I'm then going to shirr across its width. Also, I drew a seam allowance on it along the sides because I don't want to go past that line while I shirr, otherwise it'll be near impossible to reattach it to the dress. Also, I just realized I'm going to have to attach it using inset corners again. And when I do that, this piece will also be stretchy. So that's gonna be fun. Anyway, one foot in front of the other. Let's just focus on the shirring for now. And hang on, what's that I can hear? Is that a time-lapse song?
This footage is sped up 50 times, much faster than it was in real life. It makes me question just what is time and what is my life.
But it looks cool anyway.
Cause it's a time lapse, yeah!
Okay, oh, my lipstick's gone. Okay, so I shirred the piece of fabric.
Something not great has happened here. The ends of the triangles have gone all twisted and stretched out, and I don't know why. And I don't know how easy that is going to be to sew into the dress. Oh, okay. I figured out what went wrong.
The reason the sides look so stretched out is because while I doubled the width of the triangle, when I drew the bigger triangle, I also increased the length of the sides. They should remain the same as the original triangle.
Good news is it did end up about the same shape as this smaller triangle. It might just need some trimming itself to actually fit in.
But guess I'll try it anyway.
All right, time to snippety snip snip this triangle section out of the back of the dress. Oh, I can't go back from here. Okay, it's done. And now to put the new shirred triangle in its place by doing my favorite, an inset corner. Now, I did a little mini tutorial of how I did this back in part 1 because I had to do it 3 times back then, and inserting it here will be similar to how I did the previous ones. But just to go through it super quickly, I pinned the triangle on one edge first, right sides of fabrics together, and then I sewed down the edge right down to the part where the 2 seam allowance lines intersect. With my needle still in both of the fabrics, I lifted my press foot and carefully turned the project so the next side is underneath the sewing foot, and then I brought the unsewn edge of the shirring over, and after pinning it in place with the fabric below it, I sewed down that side as well. Then I cut off those little extra little bitty bits.
Not gonna lie, I feel like I need some kind of sewing award after that. This next award goes to Annika Victoria for doing the impossible, sewing an inset corner using one stretchy and one non-stretchy piece of fabric. Wow, thank you everyone for voting for me. This is an award I have dreamed of winning since I was a little girl. Thank you, mwah, mwah, mwah. She's hilarious. But the real question is, did this fix my problems? I do need to try it on again before I move on. It fits. I can move my stomach. I can bend over. I'll be able to eat. I'll be able to dance. This works so well. So now, on with the rest of the dress. Okay, so now I'm up to step 6, join shoulder seams of band sections.
There are, for some reason, 4 front pieces and 4 back pieces. I think that's because each one gets faced with itself, but the instructions are telling me that I join them first, so I guess I join all 4 together. So for each band, I've got to join the front and back together at notch number 6, which is the shoulder seam. Pin them all right sides together. I'm gonna sew them all like this. And of course, I also then press the seams open.
And then face band sections, leaving notched edges free below circle. Oh, that's vague. Let's figure that out.
So what I think that means is, because I've got 4 of these, it wants me to face each one with itself. So put them right sides together, and then I've got to sew them around the edges, but only some of the edges. The instructions, again, say to face them, but to leave the notched edges free below the circle. Now, the circle was about here. I've drawn it on as a cross on these, and these are the notched edges. So I think I'm leaving that bit unsewn, but sewing around the entire rest of the thing. On both of them, obviously. Okay, let's hope I'm doing this right.
Let's try it. Fingers crossed.
Now I gotta snippety snip those corners and turn both the straps the right way around. And press them flat with my iron.
Alright, they're flat and ready to attach to the dress.
Now, I would typically top stitch these to stop the straps from flipping and twisting around and keep them laying flat, but I didn't do it here because I was just trying to figure out how it all worked. But for the final version, my final wedding dress, I'll sew some cotton interfacing into the middle of the strap to give it some weight, stop any twisting that might happen, and if I do that, I won't have to do top stitching, so no visible stitches like there would be if I top stitched this now.
Alright, time for the next steps. Hang on. 7, 8, 10? Hey, pattern! Hey, pattern! Where's number 9? Do we not like the number 9? Where's number 9? I don't see number 9 anywhere here. It's not, there's no 9s to be seen. Where's number 9? You can't just... What? Why? Why are these instructions doing this to me? Why? Now the numbers do actually refer to notches and the order you join them in, but I can confirm it's just not on there anywhere, folks. Number 9 is gone. Who stole number 9? That's the question we have to be asking ourselves here. Yeah, Annika, don't make your own pattern, that'll be too hard. Do a commercial pattern, that'll definitely be easier. I'm so done with this pattern. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the pattern's doing a sneaky trick and this 6, oh, watch it, is actually a 9. I don't know anymore. Yo, what have you got against the number 9? I'm yelling at a piece of paper. I've truly lost it.
Anyway, the missing step 9 has distracted me from what I need to do next, which is to attach these straps to the dress. In its own very sparse, confusing way, the next instruction says to attach both straps on one edge of the strap only, to the front and the sides of the dress. So I pinned the straps on first to make sure that it looked right. And I am aware from your view, dear audience, that right now this probably looks like a busy, twisted mess, which you are not wrong about, but I am doing things correctly, I think. It was just really hard to film this part, so you'll just have to take my word for it that it looks right.
This took about half an hour to pin. This is really finicky and I feel very sorry for future Annika right now who has to do this, but with slippery fabric on her actual wedding dress. I'm sorry, future Annika. I'm sorry for doing this to you.
Anyway, I sewed both straps in place along one long edge. I now have the other edge of each strap left to sew down, and I think what the cryptic instructions here mean is that I have to press the other edge of each open strap in like this along the seam allowance, like I'm doing here, and then carefully attach them on the inside of the dress, over the top of the seam we just sewed. And sew it in place. Gosh, I hope that's right. Now, I need to finish the top edge of this shirred bit. I should have hemmed the top edge before placing this shirred bit into the dress. First, I overlocked the raw edge of the shirring. The instructions say to finish it using underfacing, but at this point, I just need to get it finished, so the mock-up is just gonna get a simple hem. I hemmed the back of the straps to close them, and finished the top edge of the shirring all in one go. And while I was sewing this, I was like, oh my god, this is so messy. But you know what? It actually doesn't look half bad. It also doesn't really matter if it's too messy at these parts here, which were the hardest parts to sew the straps to, because the back of the straps are gonna come down over here and cover these up anyway. This is the second last step on the instructions. I've just got to crisscross the straps over at the back, lining the ends of these straps up with the front of the straps that are sewn on already, and then I'm gonna sew them in place here and here.
Now, the last step on the pattern is to hem the bottom of the dress. This entire bottom of the dress. Like, I haven't gone back around to the start yet. Oh my god. I calculated that the entire bottom of this dress is about 4 meters in circumference. Yikes. That's gonna waste a lot of time that I could be using sewing my actual wedding dress. And this is now finished enough to the extent that I can now see how it'll look. So can you. So let's put it on. Let's see how it looks. Da, 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 da.
Oh,
what do you think?
That looks amazing.
Ah!
That looks absolutely amazing.
I'm so happy. happy about this. Even though it's just my mock-up, I feel really pretty. Because my dress is from the late 1930s, I've been doing a lot of research into the makeup styles and the hair trends of that era, and I think this is pretty accurate for that time. It may be a little bit off, but whatever, it's 2020, it's not the 1930s, so it's fine. I am feeling a little bit worried about my actual wedding dress though, that I'm making out of this fabric, because I thought this mock-up would take me 1 month to make, and it took me nearly 3. Granted, I did spend half that time finishing uni assignments, running up and down the coast trying to escape fires, evacuating fires, being in hospital, and having a pain flare. Nonetheless, I can't assume February's just gonna be totally fine and chill either. I have a chronic illness, like it's completely unpredictable. And I've now got less than the time it took me to make this mock-up till my actual wedding day. And while I do now know what I'm doing, I am about to redo it all on hard mode thanks to this slippery heckin' fabric that I've never really worked with before. I'm not so worried about the actual sewing part. My Benina 335 is really good at working with weird slippery fabrics, but it is the accurate cutting and pinning of this fabric that I'm getting just a little bit spooked about. I think I'm gonna have to call in the troops. Please wish me luck in the comments, because even though I don't believe in luck, it's not gonna hurt. And honestly, I'm gonna need it. Now, to help fund our wedding, which as weddings have the tendency to do, is slowly snowballing into something exorbitantly expensive, here is a Squarespace ad from me and my soon-to-be husband, Lucci. Now, Lucci, we really have to talk about your last idea for a website.
My excellent website idea, yes.
Excellent website idea, paperwaterbottles.com.
It's called paperwaterbottles.com. I assume I'm a millionaire by now, but continue.
So not only does paperwaterbottle.com exist, but also Jaden Smith has beat you to it by like years with just water.
Who's this Jaden Smith?
Lachana, I'm sorry, but it's time to go back to the drawing board. We need to find another website for you. I did like the celebrity angle, maybe you could go with that.
Jeff Goldblum's Golden Blooms.
Maybe something else though.
Let me pitch you on one more.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to pick someone that's topical. Okay, think about this.
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker's out. Everybody loves it. And who does everybody love the most? Kylo Ren, aka Adam Driver.
Okay, so what's your pitch? What's your like 5-second elevator pitch? Go.
Adam Driver's drivers. Is it Adam Driver? No, it isn't. That's not practical. He can only do a few trips a day. It's carefully selected actors. We select them for the face, for the shoulder length hair. And they simulate the experience of what it would be like to get a lift from Adam Driver.
Okay, so this is your idea for a website.
Yeah. Let's not try and get Adam involved until we've made it and we can sort of say, here's exactly what it would look like.
Okay, alright. Look, this idea is alright. I think this idea has something behind it.
We should probably have some backups on the very unlikely event that Adam Driver doesn't want to do this.
Very unlikely. Okay, what about Emma Stone's Precious Stones?
Elijah Wood's Lumberyard.
Jay-Z's A to Z's Learn to Read the Alphabet with Jay-Z. Keanu Reeves' Sporty Briefs.
Sporty Briefs? Keanu Reeves' Laurel Wreaths.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a Christmas thing maybe. Bruce Willis Will This Bruce.
Okay, so I know you're going for the celebrity angle to make a website. Have you considered that maybe you know someone in your own life who is a celebrity and also runs their own website?
Nothing coming to mind.
Me.
Oh my gosh.
Which can be found at annikavictoria.com. And guess what?
What?
It's made using Squarespace.
What? Well, that's a bloody coincidence. Hang on, let me ask you something about that though. Is it easy?
Yeah, I mean, making a website on Squarespace was so easy. Really easy to make a website that looks really nice. Looks like I've paid a lot of money to get it like professionally designed. It's really pretty. Another thing I really love about it is that basically I was able to set it up and then just kind of leave it. Like I don't have to really maintain it. Like Squarespace does all of that for you.
And URLs. People underestimate the importance.
Yeah.
You've got to think about that search engine optimization.
Yeah. When you type in annikavictoria.com into a Google search bar, then it is one of the first things that comes up.
It's so good to know that the first thing they see is like your website, which you've designed.
No drama pages.
To put, no drama.
Another thing I really love about it is that I have a place to put my rants that are too long for Instagram. Things about navigating institutions with disability to ethical fashion.
Yeah. Stuff that the algorithm will be like, no thank you. What's this word, institutions? I've seen that in clickbait.
Another feature that actually you use as well is audio blocks. We have a section on my website that is for us putting up podcasts.
Our podcasts.
Our sporadically
published podcast. When we publish our podcast to this page, it goes straight to iTunes and all other podcatchers for us without me having to do any additional work.
Yeah, it's
which
actually
I really
really
like.
easy.
It's really convenient.
And it's also so easy to set up so people can just leave comments on that page. We'll go through back episodes. Legitimately is extremely easy to use to the point where actually I can use it. You may be surprised to know because I'm marrying an internet, but I'm not an internet.
Even he can do it. All right, that does it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Wish me luck for making my wedding dress, please. And I'm gonna send you out with this cute little clip that is of my nieces who are obsessed with my YouTube channel and been asking me for months if they can be on it. So I'll let them take you out. Bye for now.
Bye.
Stay crafty. What are you watching?
Annika Victoria.
Would you like to be on my YouTube channel?
Yes. What's going on? Like, comment, and subscribe.